What's going on, everybody? Welcome to PNL Live, where I'm going to be documenting my day trading journey. And just a quick disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor, so do not take any of this as financial advice to buy or sell anything. Even if you see it in the comments section, if you see anything in the video, don't take it as financial advice. So, with that out the way, I guess we can get started for the day. So, first, I'm not a trader. Let's get that out of the way. I am very green at this, very new. And so, I'm starting with a demo account. And that's kind of the point of this entire channel, is to document the entire journey. I have some exposure to trading, so I know about charts, and I know about resistance and support, and what all the candles mean, and RSI, and exponential moving average, and VWAP, etc., etc. And I'm sure if you guys are here, you guys probably know about a lot of that stuff too. So we're going to start with a demo account, and I think I'm going to build it from the demo account from 2,000 to maybe 10,000, I think, before we start actually trading with greenbacks. So I guess with that out of the way, and now you know. If you guys want to join along for informational and educational purposes only, of course, you're more than welcome to. And I will make mistakes. Every trader makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, So if you see something that maybe you would have done better, throw it in the comments, because I would love to get better at this. So, I guess with that, I'll let you guys in on my process, at least the process that I have so far. It might end up changing over time, but I don't know. We'll see. So at the very top of the screen, I have my trading view chart, and then at the bottom side of the screen, I have my BTCC account, and this is what you can futures trade on. And another thing I'm trying to figure out is this internet, because it's probably not going to have very smooth candles on BTCC. Right now it's kind of being a pain in the ass, so I got to get all the settings right on OBS. So that's kind of something I'm still trying to figure out too. So if it's slow, just bear with me. You're probably not going to get into any of the trades I'm getting into anyway, so don't. And this isn't financial advice, so just because it's a little slow right now, I'm still trying to work out the kinks to all of this. And by the time it's a real account, we're not going to have any of these problems. But for right now, you gotta get it figured out. Alright, so a lot of people say that you're only supposed to have like 1 or 2 or 3 things that you're trading at the most. Some people only have 1 thing that they're trading, and they get to know their markets really well. I want to be able to look at a chart, and I want to be able to point out the resistance and support, point out any trends that are going on. Look at the volume, look at the RSI, and be able to tell immediately if it's something I want to trade for the day. So I have a little list of things that little lists of things that I have my eyes on, things that are getting close to the resistance, things that are getting close to the support for the day, that have a pretty good history over the last month or two of either respecting or going against that resistance or support. So And I haven't combed through anything today. Like, I haven't combed through anything really. So let's see some things that maybe I want to try out for today. Doge always has volume. That's what I'm on right now. At the top, you can see. It's always got good volume. Let's see what the volume is. Trading volume, last 24 hours, 1.37 billion. So, and it's getting pretty close to this support here. And it already rejected it once. And, you know, over the last week or so, and more, looks like it's rejected it quite a few times. And all of this is free accounts, by the way. I'm not paying for TradingView. So I'm just using, the only thing I'm using off of TradingView is the MACD. And on my BTCC account, I just have the RSI. That is it. If my BTCC account even wants to pull up right now, just so we can even start making trades. Because I would like to trade off Doge, I think, for the day. Yeah, and it is... I'm not even sure if this is even going through, honestly, because when I look at my dashboard here, it looks like the chart is on the bottom for BTCC is there, and on my chart I'm not seeing nothing. So let's see. Yeah, so you guys are probably gonna get some buffering and all this. This is definitely something we gotta figure out. I can't have this happening during the live streams. I wonder if I can actually change these settings like midstream. Let's see here. Yeah, because I went through it and tweaked it just to where I was able to get, you were able to see the candles. I use the 5-minute charts. I use the daily charts to draw out my support and my resistance, but I trade on the 5-minute chart. The 1-minute chart's got too much noise, and the hourly chart, I like to check out the hourly chart because just to see where everything's at. But I don't trade on the hourly chart because I'm scalping. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get in and out within 10 minutes. So what that hourly candle does, it's important, but it's not going to be contingent on whether I get in and out of the trade or not. Let's see here. Looks like all of my... I went through like a crash course because I use OBS. I went through like a crash course on OBS. So if you guys are curious about any of that, maybe I'll make a video, or you could ask me in the comments. I'll get back to you. Bitrate 2500. I got it low because it's charts and stuff. Encoder preset very fast. Let's see. Which is weird. Whenever you're encoding on OBS, you want it to be very fast to have less, or you want, the faster your encoder is, the less wear and tear it puts on your CPU, the less draw it has on your CPU. Which is weird. You would think it would be like very slow. It would be, you know, not as much on your CPU, but it's not that way. All right, let's see. I have all of my. It might just be my internet speed. I might just have to all around just get better internet, especially if I'm going to be able to do all of this live and get in and out of trades and stuff. So I like the way Doge is looking. I guess while this is loading, I'm gonna pull up some other things, see what else everything else is doing. Ethereum's always got good volume, and it's been, I don't think it's, yeah, it hasn't. It looks like it's, actually that might be a good trade for today too. just rejected the resistance. So if it taps it one more time, let's see what it's looking like on the minute chart. 5-minute chart. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Looks like the MACD's reversing, but you never really know with the MACD. I don't even really like using the MACD to really get in and out of trades, but because it can always just change up on you. Looks like it wants to test it again on the 5-minute. Looks like it wants to test it again on the hourly chart too. Looks like maybe we'll get a doji candle and it'll turn around. Yeah, so this might be a good, Ethereum might be a good trade for today, Doge might be a good trade for today. For me, not for you. I don't know what you want to do. Looks like it wants to hit it again. Let's see what else. Sui, I was looking at it the other day, and I think I made a trade with Sui the other day. I don't remember. So far my account, I'm starting with a $2,000 account, and it's up 150 bucks. Maybe made like 10 trades. I use, I risk 500, which is a $10,000 contract at 20x leverage. So every trade I do, I risk 500 bucks and make anywhere from 20 to 50 bucks to, you know, if I can let it run, I let it run, and I made 300 bucks on this paper trading account, 320, but I took a loss also of like 200 bucks, 250 bucks, I think. So I ended up on a separate trade that I didn't set a stop loss at, like an idiot. So that was a learning experience for me. Definitely set your stop loss. I just let a trade go and forgot that it was still riding because I was trying to swing trade it a little bit, and I lost my ass because I just fell asleep and woke up in the gutter. So BTCC is still not loading. I don't even know what you guys are seeing on your end, because the YouTube dashboard just says that everything's a-okay. So, and I know that's not the case because I'm not seeing the BTCC charts. I might just have to sign out and sign back in and clear my cache and whatever the case is, clear the cache and the cookies. But yeah, that's kind of what I have going on here with this. That's what I'm doing. So risking it for the biscuit. And we'll see. You guys come along for this day trading journey. But yeah, Doge is looking good, and I think Ethereum's looking good for me for today, at least for right now. At least within the next, you know, if I could find something that's, I know there's a couple things that really are pumping right now. Like SHX, I think, is on a tear right now. Yeah, SHX is on a tear right now. I don't even know if I could trade SHX on BTCC. That's the only thing I don't like about BTCC is there's not a lot of pairs that you can really trade. You don't have some of the they have other meme coins, but they just don't have, like, don't have other things. I'm not a meme coin guy, but I am interested in trying to use Dex Screener to find some meme coins as soon as they're published. Something that looks like it's, because I saw Hello Kitty the day it was created, and then it just went crazy. And because I was just combing through Dex Screener. If you guys want to get set up with BTCC and also trade on BTCC, I'm gonna leave my affiliate link in the in the description so you guys can get tapped in, and it helps the channel. And if you guys have another brokerage account that maybe is better, that could trade futures, that trades futures contracts, let me know, because I think BTCC has pretty high fees, I think, from what I hear. I mean, I haven't really explored any other ones, but it's always good to have a better option, right? So, if you guys know of anything. Alright, so I just cleared my cookies and my data, so we'll see if we can actually pull up my charts on BTCC now. But yeah, if you guys have any anything you guys would like to, you guys are looking at, you guys are thinking about trading for the day. I know a lot of people just like to trade gold. Gold is at like an all-time high, so I don't really know. You can catch those dips. I know a lot of people just like to catch those dips. Some people just trade the NASDAQ and the Dow. It's weird. I didn't know that you could actually, until recently, I didn't know that you could actually trade the stock market itself, like whether the entire stock market's going down. But I guess if anybody gives you a contract to trade anything, then I guess anything can be traded, right? Alright, so I'm just logging back in right now on BTCC. So that way I just cleared all my cache and my cookies and stuff. Because all my settings were working before. I don't really know what you guys are seeing on your end, but on mine, I'm not seeing this chart, so I gotta get this pulled up. Looks like maybe it's going a little bit faster now. Let's see what it wants to do. It's just going to be the exact same way. Yeah, it's pulling up. It's not being very responsive. I don't know if I got to set up my EMA and my RSI again. So I use the EMA. I'll tell you a little bit about my indicators. So I use the EMA that's set to the 100-day. I don't use the upper and lower the upper and lower bands. I just have it set to 100. And I'll show you guys what I mean if you guys can actually see this. This thing isn't just going to be an utter complete pain in the butt. It looks like it's ticking okay. It looks like it's on my end. It looks like it's sometimes it'll actually skip 2 seconds, but it looks like it's actually doing all right so far. All right, so the RSI, it shows whether you're overbought or oversold, which is good to know. Let's see. And the exponential moving average just gives a general idea of let's see, I gotta delete these. Gives you a general idea of what the price has been over the average over the last 100 days. Actually, I take that back. I don't know if it's actually the average of the volume or if it's the average of the price. I think it was the average of the price over the last 100 days. Let's see. Delete that. Delete that. Delete that. Okay. So maybe this set up to 100 now. Yeah, it looks like it's being halfway decent to where I can actually make trades now. so Doge is looking oversold. It's under the EMA. And let's go back to Doge here. So it'll probably end up bouncing off of this resistance here. So if we're in the 5 minute, I'd say in the next like 20 minutes or less, we could probably end up getting in on a trade and catch that reversal bouncing off, because it's already respected that resistance, and it shot through it here originally. So if it hits one more bounce, that would actually be good time to get in, I think, because I like to stick to it with a couple bounces. It's got to bounce at least twice, and it looks like it hasn't bounced off of it, but it got pretty damn close to that resistance, so I would count that as a bounce. I'm not sure if I can. I'm not sure if that's technically proper because it didn't actually touch, but I would count that as a bounce. I wouldn't count this other one, this more recent, as a bounce, even though the candles look like it bounced pretty hard. I mean, look at the bottoms of those candles. There's just no wick at the bottom. It just spiked, so that could even be a bounce. But whether it's one bounce or two bounces, it looks like it's going to bounce again. I think that's why I'm going to get into it. On the 1 minute chart, let's check it out just to be curious. I mean, there's no telling on the 1 minute chart. There's literally just no telling anything. In the hour chart, yeah, it looks like it's coming down hard. So that'll be perfect. And look at that. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit about why I'm looking at this too, why this hour chart's was pretty important. It's because if you guys see, and it already came down at what I considered it was a bounce. Look at that. This would have been a perfect entry. Look at that doji candle. So I have the Heikin-Ashi candles on right now, and I'll use the regular candles. But look at that doji candle. It's bigger than all of these wicks. So there's a huge reversal right here. That would have been a perfect time to get in. And that was what, a few hours ago. And that would have been sweet to get in if I had been moving around and actually trading. But so yeah, this one's looking good. I think we're gonna trade doji in the next 20 minutes, maybe less. We'll see. So the price that it has to get to for me to get in, my entry would be something around 18,980. 18,980. I don't know if it's because the shit is just set up. Maybe it's because I have other things connected to the internet. That's why it's being so much of a pain in the ass. And I'm about to disconnect some stuff from the internet. Bear with me, guys. Alright, so it looks like it's halfway decent, and it's going down to my level too, which once it gets down to 18,980, it's definitely going to be over. Already is oversold, so it's looking good. It's looking. Actually, I'm on the 1 minute chart on BTCC. Let me switch this over here. Yeah, so we're looking pretty good. So I'm gonna get my contract ready here. So for this paper trading account, I'm setting changing it to USDT here. So I don't want to trade in Doge. It's just much easier to first I gotta switch over to demo trading. Oh my gosh, see, this is why it pays to have good internet, because it's coming down to my level and I'm just sitting here waiting for it to switch over to demo trading. Yeah, this is terrible. I don't know if any settings are gonna fix this. I'm just gonna have to speed up my internet because I just have some pretty basic internet. So I'm gonna have to get that switched up. But yeah, it's looking good. All of those candles are starting to. None of those candles, if you look at the top on the trading view chart, none of those candles have top wicks. None of those red candles. So that's a good sign. MACD is starting to reverse, which I don't put a whole lot of weight in the MACD, but it's starting to reverse. RSI is looking oversold, so it's definitely about to turn around. We just gotta wait for the right candle. We gotta wait for a good entry point. That's kind of key, is because when I was taking trades, you know, the first few trades I was taking, I didn't set an entry. I was just kind of like, oh, I think it's gonna do this, and it very well might have. But if you don't have an entry, there's no telling if it's gonna change up on you in the last second, which it did, and that's definitely something that I realized is waiting for an entry is crucial if you don't have a standard for yourself. So I'm just still waiting. So it's probably gonna hit my entry. Watch, and I'm just gonna be on here waiting for these charts to pull up on BTCC. This is just awful. This is just absolutely awful. And I don't even know what you guys are seeing. This whole thing might just be frozen. I don't know, but. because I have nothing connected here, and it's still just being such a pain in the butt. So Bitcoin hit another all-time high. I think it went up to like 110 or something, which is cool. I'm not a Bitcoin guy, but it's a good compass for the rest of the market. So it's always good to pay attention to. There's a lot of infighting for what everybody's favorite coins are, and so whether you don't like Bitcoin, still pay attention to it, because if you're an altcoin person, it's once Bitcoin hits an all-time high, people start taking that money and moving it into the rest of the market. So, but Bitcoin still has dominance. So right now, so just because it hit an all-time high, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's about to turn around. People are still obviously taking profits every single time it dipped. I mean, once it hit like 105, I think it went back down to 100. So now it's up to like 110, and then it went down to 108, and then it'll probably go to 113, and it'll probably just keep doing that until, my prediction is, I think it's going to hit like 130. I think it's going to hit like between 130 and 150, 130 and 140, I think, and then I think Bitcoin dominance is going to reach its peak this year. I mean, 150 is quite a bit. Once a coin it's already at, like, I don't even know how many times it's flipped, but doing a 5x for Bitcoin and per cycle is just not realistic. So it doing 1.5 is pretty damn good, or whatever that is. Alright, so I'm setting my contract right now. It looks like it's starting to turn around. Set my leverage to 20x. Yeah, it's looking like it's about to turn around. So if this candle closes right now red, looks like it just did. It's a hammer candle. That's what that one is. But we're looking for a good doji. We're looking for a strong doji. We got a good strong hammer though, so that might be a I don't want to get into a trade off of a hammer, especially on a Heikin-Ashi, because Heikin-Ashi is just kind of like an average. So if it was a hammer candle after regular candles, after a strong downtrend, maybe, or if it was green, maybe, I don't know. I might have that mixed up. If you guys know, let me know in the comments, because I'm curious if I am maybe missing opportunities, better opportunities. Really want it to come down all the way down to my level of 189.80. That would be ideal, but it's looking like it's just wants to looks like it's ready to reject it already. So I really want to see it touch that resistance, or that support, excuse me. I really want to see it touch that support. See, but with this, with it only changing, see, because that's another thing. I'm still trying to perfect on how much, because it's different. Because I had on this demo account, I had a futures trading contract on XRP, and XRP is just trading sideways. It has a really good chart to futures trade because it fluctuates really good. It's always got really good volume. It really's been respecting those supports and the resistance, like really respecting it. So when it fluctuates at a higher percentage. See, because that's the thing. I think when something is, I could be wrong here, but when something fluctuates like 8 cents, when it's $2, let's do the math right now. Let's see. Because that's the thing, when something fluctuates 8 cents and it's like $2, I'm pretty sure that's a higher difference than when something is is 18 cents and you're trying to catch 1 penny off of it, you know? So let's do the math here. 7 cents divided by, let's say, I don't know, how would you even do that math? Let's see. That's a 3%. You're trying to scrape 3% between, between 3 and 4%. You're trying to scrape if you can get a 7 cents off of a $2 token, let's say, versus if you have 0.01 divided by point. Oh no, it's a higher spread. Okay, so trading Doge. If I can scrape a penny off of 19 cents, that's around 5%. You know, yeah, that's like 5% versus 3%. So it's actually pretty good. Maybe that's why there's always so much ridiculous volume in Doge. All the volume, and it just fluctuates like crazy. Not like crazy, but you know what I'm saying. It's got good volume for how many tokens are in circulation, etc., etc. So we're starting to come back around a little bit here. Looks like my time. I don't really know what you guys are seeing right now. These are all still bugs I'm working out. But it's like every 2 seconds. I'm only getting, while I'm streaming, my internet's like every 2 to 3 seconds it's like skipping, which would not be fun if this was a live account. I wouldn't even do it until I had it figured out, but I wouldn't even be streaming until I had my internet figured out. But this is just a demo account, so see at the bottom on my BTCC account, if you guys see the exponential moving average, it's really a question of if there's going to be enough volume to plow through that, or if I'm only going to be able to take, if it's trying to bounce back through that support. So it might just only hit that exponential moving average and then bounce right back down to the support. So I'm going to set my stop loss somewhere inside the support, but my take profit, I think I'm going to I'm gonna have it up there about a penny, like 19.8, 19.7. But I might have to adjust it if if we go into it and there's just not a lot of volume and it only wants to hit that exponential moving average, I might just have to just take profits there. I'm trying to be a real defensive trader here. I really just want to try to secure my, even if I could have just stuck along with a runner, I'm really trying to be a defensive opportunist and protect my stop loss. It's the most important part. Because even if, as long as I'm in the green every day, I'll be able to get better at deciding whether I want to let the runners run. Because I mean, you could see here at the last time it went through that exponential moving average, it wasn't even sure. Strong candles all the way down, and then it hit that exponential moving average, and you could see there's a doji candle there before it finally decided to keep on going. So in that moment, I probably would have, if I was at the top there riding the wave down, because as you can see, the RSI is super overbought, like that thing was going to come down, that would have been a perfect opportunity to get in. If I thought that it was going to hit that exponential moving average and bounce off with that doji candle, I probably would have got out right there. I probably wouldn't have rode that whole wave down. But that's why you got to look for indicators. See, because then you had a second doji candle, which would have been bad, but as soon as that one closed, and it closed red, through that exponential moving average, you wouldn't have had any worry. It would just kept going. So that's why I got to get better at deciding when to get in and when to get out. Really, when to get out. I'm pretty good at deciding when to get in, but when to get out and let the runners run is kind of my big problem. Eventually I'm going to have a Patreon or something set up to where you guys can help out the channel if you decide to. If you were able to learn anything from this channel and take it with you and make a few bucks, hey, it'd be cool. Spread the love. And eventually I'm going to try to spread the love too and do some giveaways and stuff as soon as we get some people actually watching this. If I can actually turn this account around and actually start making some cash. Alright, so it looks like it's starting to turn around here, so we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how this candle closes. RSI looks like it's about to turn around. I want to see a real strong doji right here. Real strong, and it looks like we're getting a pretty strong. We're getting a little bit more volume before people are starting to figure out what they want to do. This might be our entry point. Have to wait and see how this candle closes first. Looks like this might be our entry. That RSI is starting to really turn around. Yeah, it looks like the MACD is about to cross underneath. So it looks like we're about to come up, but you still never know. It might come down and touch where I actually wanted it to touch. I'd like to get my 18 line. This might be our entry here. bears are really trying to maintain control here, but they're just having a hard time. But I like how big that wick is. It's green, it's long, it's looking good. Not too much wick on the bottom. So it's probably going to be our entry. We're going to have to see how this closes. Once it gets down to 10 cents, I'm probably going to place the order if this looks like it's going to close green. Just because if I wait until the candle closes, it's probably going to be 10 seconds after that before I actually open up my contract, just with how crappy this internet is right now. But I like how long that wick is, though. There's a lot of price action going on in there. It's just too overbought. I just don't think the bears are going to maintain control of this candle. I just don't see it happening. The candle looks really good though. This is probably going to be the one. I don't really see this thing turning around. It'd be nice to get some serious volume in. That would be, if we can just push through that exponential moving average, I feel a lot more confident than tiptoeing around it like the last time we fell through it. But looks like we're about to get some pretty strong volume in now. And we're going to go ahead and place our long position. Order confirmation. So we're in right now. I don't know where it got us in at, which is terrible. Oh, it got us in right at the fucking top, of course. Of course, it got us in. Like, see, that's why it pays to have good internet. Because if it would have got in as soon as I press that button, I'd be in the green right now instead of being in the minus. But that's okay. Okay, I didn't set my stop loss because this internet is just being so slow that I will absolutely probably lose out, because it'll just try to load my settings for so long that it'll probably already be, probably take 3 minutes just to load it. I'll probably lose out. But as you can see, we're starting to turn around. There's no bottom wick, which is good. It's all up pressure. I really would like to just blast through that exponential moving average. But it looks like, I don't know. You never know with the RSI. Sometimes it likes to move fast, up to the overside or down to the underside. But sometimes it moves really slow. So hopefully it moves really slow and we don't get oversold until we're at the top of that wave. We're in in the green, which is looking good. We're up a couple bucks, so we'll see. I think if I can get up to the top of that wave, I'd be up like 30 bucks or something, which would be good. I'm trying to have a limit on how many trades I do every day. That way I can really make my trades count. If I only trade make 3 trades a day, but each of those trades are, you know, however much. You know, for now, if I can get each one of those trades to be $100 a piece, I start to feel pretty confident. And then after that, if I can, you know, start risking a little bit more, and then instead of, you know, maybe have like a $30,000 contract, which then it would be me risking $1,500 at 20x leverage, and then each one of my trades, you know, or 50,000, you know, I'd be raised, you know, be like 2,500 at 20x leverage, the contract. If it was, so far we're up about $5. If we can push through, I actually might be up. If I can get to the top of that wave. See, that's the thing, is I don't quite understand. I should be able to look and be like, all right, at this contract size, this leverage amount, by the time I hit that wave, I make X dollars. But I'm not good enough yet to where I know exactly how much I make. I'm just trying to have good entries. And so far, I think I've made a couple trades on Doge so far. Not a lot, but that candle's looking good so far. There's no down pressure, at least on the Heikin-Ashis. On the other ones, it probably looks crazy, and that's why I don't like the other candles, because there's just too much noise. So maybe it'd be $50. Maybe if I blast through that exponential moving average, maybe I get to the top of that wave. Maybe that's a $50 gain. I think maybe, I don't know. But we're starting to get some. It's got good volume. That candle's much bigger, which is good. Just want to keep on having bigger and bigger candles with no down pressure. This shows me the bulls are in control. Saying it looks like the RSI is starting to turn probably right around that exponential moving average. So this will be fun. This will be fun when we hit that exponential moving average. It'll be interesting to see how it wants to react. I might just get scared and pull out, but I don't know. Smaller candle now, so it's looking like it's probably going to make it up there and then get scared, not want to blast through it like I was hoping. Yeah, I think maybe it'd be $40 if I blast through that exponential moving average and get to the top of that wave. Because if so far it's $5, you got to think that's about. It's about 5 times, so maybe $25, $30. I don't know. Maybe I was right, but that's fine as long as we got gains. I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with just having small greens, because then I'll just get more confident with my trades, and I'll start risking more for the biscuit. Good. I'm getting up to $7 now. We got 7. So. And this candle looks like it's so far bigger than the last. No, it's getting there, which is good. I still think it's just not gonna respect that moving average, just because if you look, it only recently blasted through, and then it came right back down. and before that it was kind of underneath that exponential moving average, and didn't want to respect it. I can't even look back too far because I don't want to pause it, just because I don't want to start messing with anything just because how slow my computer is my internet is right now. But I don't think it's going to I don't think it's going to respect it. I think if it does, it's just only going to, we'll see. So far it's got some good volume, so hopefully we can just blast through it. See, like you see on the last time, it blasted through that exponential moving average there at the bottom on BTCC. It didn't even hesitate. It just went from one candle to the next candle, just straight through it, just plowed through it. But it does not look like that's happening right now. Doesn't look like, unless we get a serious bit of volume. It looks like that RSI is starting to turn. And the good thing about having stop losses, though, is like what I'm noticing right now, and you take profit zones, is you're not getting right now I would be getting finicky. I'd be like, oh man, you set your parameters and then you execute it, and like a machine. You don't get shook, you just let it do its thing. But like when you don't have stop losses and stuff and your take profit zones, like right now I'd be like, oh my gosh, I went from a however much percent down to basically breaking even. I better take profits now. Oh no, like that's what I would be wanting to do before. But now I'm just kind of like, well, let's just let this baby ride out, see what happens. Because I set my parameters, and a strong downtrend. It didn't blast through that exponential moving average. It kind of hesitated, and then at the bottom it didn't have a strong doji before it turned around. So maybe that's why. That's a good signal I gotta look for in the future. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. But if it had just blasted through and went to the strong downside underneath that exponential moving average instead of having a bunch of candles, if it would have just had half those candles and reached the same levels, I would be super confident that this would have just blasted on the upside and then ended with a strong doji instead of that hammer. I'd be much more confident. But it looks like people are still not. Yeah, you see RSI starting to turn around again. But some of that pressure kind of just has to relieve itself. So it could just still, even if it goes to the downside a little bit more, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, sometimes they say you're just supposed to be able to set your trade and walk away. That's what some people say, and I wish I was that confident. I'd be too. Maybe it's just that I'm curious. I think I'm still confident in my trades, but I'm more or less curious to see what everything is doing all at once. So it's a learning experience, because it's just for next time. I think that it is going to just kiss that exponential moving average and turn back around. What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. I'm curious if you're watching this or if you're rewatching it. I don't even know if anybody's even going to be able to watch it live because I have no idea what's... I look at the dashboard before, I looked at the dashboard and it was just froze. So, but if you guys are able to watch this on the playback, put it in the comments. Let me know what you think it's going to do when it hits that exponential moving average. I just don't think it's going to blast through it. It stinks. I really wish I had better internet right now. I would have had such a better entry point. I'm going to have to just, especially if I'm planning on streaming all of this. Before, it was no problem. Like I can place my trades, I can do everything, but I got OBS open and I got it trying to stream, so it's kind of, it's a real wear on my bandwidth, on my internet more than anything. My computer's fine. My computer's a tank. But trying to stream it just seems like it's giving me terrible entry points, and it's every candle is skipping like 3 seconds, 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Which is when you're talking about trading, especially scalping, 2 or 3 seconds. It's then you got 2 or 3 seconds, and then on top of that, you know, however long it takes just to enter the position when your internet's so slow, that could be another 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then you got slippage on top of that. So their system, BTCC's system, so you're talking about getting in like 7 seconds later. I mean, that's a huge window, especially when you're only supposed to be in a trade for like, 10 minutes. See, that's what they say, is like scalping, you're only supposed to be in a trade for like 10 minutes. So right now I've been in this trade for probably close to 15 minutes. So I'm sure it's okay, but maybe I could have just taken that, whatever percentage once it hit $7. Taken that $7 and ran with it. I mean, I don't know. But I set my parameters that I would like to see it at least get to that exponential moving average, but it doesn't look like it's going to have. It looks like it's got some downward pressure now. It's starting to get some downward pressure. Candles aren't as tall, I should say. But, and that $7, once I start risking more, that $7 would turn into, $70 or $100, and just only taking profits on like 2 or 3 candles, you know what I mean? Being like, alright, I know it's going to reverse, boom, I take that profit on like 2 or 3 candles and close the contract. But this way, since I'm not risking as much, the contracts are only 10,000 at 20x leverage, I'm only risking 500 per trade. It's not giving me as much profit per candle, so I'm kind of like trying to, squeeze blood out of a stone, but not necessarily, because I got my parameters, I know where I want to hit. So if I don't hit it, I don't hit it. But these candles are not looking good. It's still pretty oversold. It's on the undersold side, I should say. There's just not as much volume coming in on the upside. I think people are probably still very unsure because it's been riding underneath that exponential moving average and it just came crashing down. So I mean, you never know. Like, sometimes you'll just be sitting there and be like, what is going on? And the next thing you know, you'll just get a huge candle to the upside. Giant candle out of nowhere. That's always fun. I think one of the last trades I got into, I picked my entry, and then no sooner did I get my entry, it completely just spiked through the roof. Next two candles, and I took my profit, I think, maybe on that candle, that very next candle. I was in it for maybe 2 minutes. I was in the trade for maybe 2 minutes. It kept going a little bit after that, but then it came right back down, which was that felt pretty good. I had a good entry, good exit. That always feels good. Yeah, so when I look on the YouTube dashboard, it definitely is still showing the Bitcoin chart from, I think, when I first started the stream. So I don't really know if you guys are going to be seeing all this. I might just be doing this for nothing, but it's okay. That is okay. Kind of just sitting there with the RSI sitting in the middle, just underneath the exponential moving average. Like, it just doesn't know what it wants to do, doesn't know if it wants to reject it, doesn't know. It's just kind of waiting for someone to give it a little nudge in one direction or the other. But that's probably going to come in the form of a big ass candle, either a big ass red candle going back to the downside or a big ass green candle going to the upside. It's going to be one or the other. And you can kind of see that happen on the last time it kissed the exponential moving average. It kind of just hit the doji. People weren't sure, kept dojiing, and then it just blasted. So we'll see. Yeah, that would have been sweet if I ended up catching that downside. That would have been a really sweet downside. But really, bird gets the worm. I don't really have any particular time that I just kind of trade when I can. So a lot of people have like a set schedule. And probably one day I will have a set schedule too. See, it's already hitting on the downside. Boom. -$4, just like that. I think my stop, no, I don't want to set my stop loss. I'm just going to have it in my head of what I want my stop loss to be. So my stop loss is pretty much just going to be back at that resistance, right back at the other red candle. That's probably going to be my stop loss. I'm going to keep it real tight, or just underneath that, somewhere inside of the resistance, somewhere inside the support zone. If it blasts through that just a little bit, I'm going to stick with it because it'll be oversold by then. But if it just starts crashing through the support, I'm gonna cut my losses here. Pretty big down pressure, but hopefully it'll just tucker itself out. It'll get oversold, and then it'll turn back around. I don't know let's see what the MACD is looking like. Yeah, we're still in good shape. Still in good shape. There's still some buying pressure there because that candle still has a pretty big wick. So I'm thinking it'll tucker itself out once it tries to fall and it hits that support one more time. I think there'll be a little bit more confidence. People will start to see an upside because right now it started to go up, big candles, and then it was kind of not sure. So once it tries it again, it touches that support one more time, it's going to say, okay, well, I guess we're going back up. Some people would have said maybe to wait and see if it was going to double tap after it had all those red candles. But I take the previous tests, every other time that it's tested that support, as my quote-unquote double tap. It's starting to go, but there's still a lot of buying pressure. So it's starting to dip into that support zone right now, but we'll have to see. So far, it's really respected that support. So I don't see it just blasting through that support, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It's a huge candle to the downside, which isn't good, but so far it is really respecting that so far it's respecting it. So big candle to the downside. I'm gonna have to see what that next candle does. So we just gotta, if it doesn't come back in any sort of way, we're tapping out. That'll be a lost trade for the day. But I don't think it's going to. I think it's really still going to respect that support. I think that was just some selling pressure because people were unsure there with those small green candles. They weren't sure if we were going to blast through that exponential average. So we're starting to get back into that oversold territory. It doesn't respect that average. It's starting to turn back around a little bit. Let's see. Getting pretty close to my stop loss here. So I was thinking probably to make 25. Well, honestly, it should be a 1 loss to 1.5 win. So really, if I was trying to make 25, my stop loss should have been like $18, which we already kind of crashed through it. But if I was to set a stop loss, it would have already hit it. But because of that support, it's respecting that support. It's kind of why I'm thinking it's starting to turn back around now. Went from $25 loss to we're back at $14 loss. And I think it's just going to respect that average, that support, excuse me. For this one, we're just going to have a 1-to-1. We're going to have a 1-to-1 stop loss. So if it hits $25 on that, because that'll be well below, that'll be inside of the support. No, I didn't want to go that far. But if it respects it and it turns around, we'll be coming back around to that exponential moving average. But we're gonna have to see some volume on the upside, because right now it's not looking too good. I think what I learned off of this trade is that downward candle, obviously I was trying to get on the upside when it turned back around, but I think it would have been a better signal if it blasted through that EMA instead of just hesitating and then having a bunch of smaller red candles on the downside. I think that's a good signal that you're probably not going to have a whole lot of strong green candles after that to the upside to just blast right through the exponential average. So it could say that, or another way what could be said, and I'm going to have to just learn as I go, but another way that could be said is, well, it wasn't sure if it wanted to dip beneath it. So technically that's a good sign for it wanting to turn back around. But it did break through it. So if it wasn't sure, it would have made that decision then and turned right back around. But it didn't. It broke through it. So I'm going to take the former, where it should have blasted through and kept blasting through instead of hesitating with those dojis and falling at a way slower rate. But looks like the RSI is possibly about to turn back around. We'll have to see. See, so futures, when I put out this contract, they don't buy actual Doge. At least, I don't think so. I don't think they buy actual Doge, so I don't think all of these futures contracts affect the price. I could be wrong, though. If I'm wrong, put it in the comments. Because if they did, that would make sense as to why, such downward pressure between the spot sales, the market sales. So looks like the RSI is turning back around. Back down to $11. So let's see. We'll see where we're gonna go. Looks like it touched that. Looks like it touched it and it completely respected it. So, see, what I should have done is I should have waited until it actually touched, like here. Like that would have been a good position. Like right now would have been a good position because it's much closer to my entry where I originally said I wanted to enter at. I would have gotten my entry if I had just waited. So because this is it went exactly where I thought it was going to go. It went down, touched the support, but now we're going to have to see. Because if we don't get any sort of indication that we're turning around, it might just bounce off of that support, and then that's not good. And we could fall right through it. If we just keep bouncing on that support and don't really make any strong movements upward, we're going downward. That's just how that works. So, but it looks like the selling pressure is starting to come down right at the resistance, or right at the support, excuse me. So this is still okay. It can even fall a little bit. It can even, the next 5 minutes could still fall a little bit further. So We'll see. Yeah, maybe I should have known to wait a little bit longer, because even though that green candle was turned it around, it was that wick is still pretty long. There's no bottom wick, but those candles are still small. I thought they were going to keep getting bigger, but they just didn't. So I think I should have known with that choppy downside right after the exponential moving average. I probably should have known that it wasn't just going to start flying up the other way. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just one of those things. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Starting to turn back around. RSI is starting to swing to the upside. It's oversold right now, so I don't see it blasting through that support zone. I think if it was going to, it would have already. Now, if it starts bouncing like little bounces off of the support, I'm just gonna have to pull out. Because that is one thing that I learned is if it starts bouncing on the top side of support without making any real move to the upside, it will fall through that support. And likewise, if it keeps tapping a resistance on the bottom side of a resistance and it just keeps bouncing on the underside of a resistance without any strong moves downward, it'll generally blast through the top of that resistance. So that's something that I learned from my own experience, really, not even really researching it, just kind of that happened on one trade, and then I noticed it, and then I actually took that and made a really good trade afterwards, just from that knowledge. That was the trade I was talking about where it was bouncing and then made a real strong swing to the upside as soon as I got in. I got out in like 3 minutes. Alright, so it looks like it respected that. Hopefully we get a strong doji and turn it around and just blast through that exponential moving average like I was hoping. Yeah, a lot of this is just right place at the right time. I would like to have it to where I had, alarms set up on my phone to where every single time specific markets do something, it will just alert me so I know exactly when to get in. Or at least know what chart to look at. Because I just started the day, I didn't plan on getting into Doji before I started live streaming. I literally just jumped on here and checked out a few of them. I wonder what ETH is looking like right now. Because ETH was looking like a good entry too. Sui was looking like a good entry. Which one was looking like a good entry? I can't remember. I don't know. This one, Dogs, some meme coin that you can trade on BTCC. I think I traded it once. I don't even think I have any support or resistance levels on here. Oh yeah, I do. I think I traded it once. That was like when it was on the upside. This thing just went through the ground. This thing was, it started off way up here and just went through the ground. It was just, now it's just kind of chopping sideways. But yeah, I need to. I'm probably gonna look really fast on Deck Screener and see if I could find something else with some good volume. I don't know, it might fall through that. I didn't even look that far into this chart to even figure out. Crash through it and it's going to the upside. Yeah, actually no, it's looking like it's probably going to go back to the upside. The hour chart, there's 11 more minutes left. Yeah, I think it's probably still going to be going on the upside. Yeah, it's starting to turn around now. See, I would have gotten my perfect entry though on that double tap right here. Boom, that would have been my spot. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Don't even tell me BTCC wants me to log back in. Are you kidding me? Wow. Oh, I hope it kept my trade open, because that would be pretty lame if it just closed me out of my trade. Yeah, that's all it took. All I had to do was just switch between a couple screens, and it just spazzed out. Jeez. Well, hopefully it didn't just go through the floor, because I didn't have a stop loss. See, that's why you're always supposed to set up a stop loss, kids. It looks like I'm still on the trade, though. Yeah, it looks like I'm still on the trade. Oh, I hate when it does that. So how do I even So once you get out of there, so normally I can see exactly where I placed my order, but as soon as you go to switch to a different chart on BTCC and you come back, it doesn't tell you on the chart where your entry is. It's starting to turn around, which is good. And I know where I got in, but it would just be nice to have a fucking indicator showing me. I'm just gonna set a stop loss real fast. We're gonna go to 0.20 cents. No, not $20. So this is my So okay, so this is like 1 to 1 and 1 to 1 to 2 right now is where I'm at. Okay, I guess as long as I put my if I put a stop loss in there, it'll actually bring that right back up. Okay, good to know. So yeah, we went from being down 25 to down $3, and I think it's going to at least touch that moving average. If it doesn't, we're going to have to see if it wants to blast through it or not. It still rejected the entire support. It bounced right. It went through the support and then it bounced right back up. So it doesn't look like it wants to be. And I drew that a while ago and actually respected all of those levels. And I drew that a few days ago. So last time I looked at it was last time I looked at Doge, it was through here somewhere. It was before this. So, because I think last time I played Doge was, I can't remember. But it did not want to be under that support. So, looks like it's probably going to end up going on the upside again. Man, and it touched that support. It touched my entry. And instead of getting in like I said I was going to and wait for my entry, I went ahead and got in here, which is still fine. I still think it's just going to blast to the upside. At least to get back to here, which will be let's see how much profit that'll be. I would have had my entry too. It'll be $60. Okay. I would have hit my level too. Isn't that something? Sometimes you just gotta listen to your gut. So let's raise the stop loss to Alright, so right now I'm at a 1 to 2. Let's raise it to where it's exactly 1 to 2. Because my take profit will probably be somewhere around here. So right now we're at a 1 to 2 because I'm risking, in this contract, I'm willing to take a $30 loss to make a $60 gain, which is about right. They say that you want to have 1 to 2, which is, so that's okay. Man, my entry would have been so much better if I would have just listened to my gut though, and just waited a little while just to see what those green candles were gonna do, because they did not have a whole bunch of action. I definitely could have just sat through that. It's not like they just shot through the roof. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see this thing just bouncing off the support a bunch of times, because it will fall back through it. We really want to see if it bounces one more time, that's okay. But if it doesn't just go through, I'm pulling out. I'm not going to sit there and just bounce off the support. Not a lot of buying pressure though. It's not looking good. And I want to get good at looking at the order books. That way I could tell. I could see, you know, if I could read. I know how to read the order books, but just reading them a lot better would be really good. Being able to see how much is. Let's take a look at that now. Actually, I want to see. Yeah, see now there's just a lot of sell pressure coming in. Okay, see, that's what I mean. I thought there was a lot of sell pressure coming in, but now I'm back in the green. So how does that work? See, that's the thing. Maybe it's because they were just small orders and there's just more green. I don't know. Now we're starting to see more red. Yeah, we're starting to see more red, except my P&L is looking better. How does that work? Yeah, see, with that exponential moving average, it's like starting to just come down. You know, it's lower now than what it was, and it looks like it's Let's see what the MACD's looking like. Oh shit, I forgot to... Oops, sorry guys. Forgot to put that up. Put that back up. Jeez. Yeah, I don't have the chat pulled up. I'm sorry guys. It's pretty terrible of me. This isn't moving very fast for me, guys. We've already been in this trade for 5, 10, or like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 40. We've been in this trade for almost an hour so far, so this isn't really looking too hot. Normally you're just supposed to be in it for just like a little while, get in, get out, take your profit, but let's just call it. Let's just call it and check on something else. Watch, as soon as I call it, it's gonna go through the roof. Watch. I don't think so though. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it. We're in the green, like $1. Like nothing. Basically broke even on that trade. Broke even on it. It's not looking like there's a whole lot of volume underneath it. The exponential moving average is going down. Even though the price is like going up, it's still the RSI's not really, or just even though it's going down, the RSI is not really doing a whole lot. So yeah, I don't even know. We got out of that. We closed it. I think we closed in the green. Not a whole lot in the green. Like $1. Like nothing. After that whole hour. I'm sorry guys. Let's look for something else. That was just pathetic. I mean, it's possible on... See, if I wanted to open up a swing trade on something like that, it would be pretty good to open up a swing trade on it. Doge is looking like a pretty good swing trade, if I do say so myself. Depends. If it closes, I might open up a swing trade. If it closes in 8 hours, above that line, and it doesn't look like it falls back through it, I might open up a swing trade on this, because this looks like a good swing trade. It looks like a really good swing trade, actually. I'm not a big swing trade guy. I only have one experience in swing trade. With that last one, but that was my own fault. It's not even any point in getting into it, but it already looks like it's turning around. We got a nice doji there. We're starting to get some good buying pressure. I might open up a swing trade in 8 hours. I might do that. Sui is looking like a good swing trade also, to be honest with you. So now we're actually going to I'm going to try to find something with volume. So I don't have it pulled up right now because I don't want to exit out of my BTCC just because of how slow this shit is. But I'm going to look on a couple places. First I'm going to look on I don't know why it is, but the BTCC mobile app has, you could just scroll through the top gainers and everything else a lot easier. It's a lot smoother. Of course, this thing is just freezing. Yeah, see, and it shows that I've only been live for like 16 minutes, so I don't know how that works, but